and you started laughing, I was like, he's not taking none of this shit seriously.
Nah, man. It's WWE, man.
Drake.
All right, so Metro Boomin is doing interviews now. I don't think I've ever seen a Metro Boomin interview. And so now he's finally opening up about the Drake versus Kendrick beef. Y'all know Mr. BBL Drizzy himself was very pivotal during the beef. Also, I hope y'all had a very good Thanksgiving. And by the way, I want to say this. I don't care what y'all think about Metro Boomin or whatever side you on, but Metro Boomin is consistently putting out good music. I just want to repeat that. Metro Boomin is an artist to me, and he is fire. Let's get into this. Like the video and subscribe. Let's go.
I'm gonna tell you the time that I was laughing, bro. This is how I knew you had a great sense of humor. It was during like the beef drama, right?
Yeah.
This is when I knew you had a great sense of humor. You DJing somewhere out of the country, and someone says, someone said that Drake, that beat, makes some music, and you started laughing. I was like, he's not taking none of this shit seriously.
Nah, man. It's WWE,
and I thought
man.
that was dope of you because I was like, okay, he gets it. It's just,
yeah,
it's
WWE,
fuck, bro.
Exactly, man. And that's, still grew up from that era of, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Before the internet was what it is now, to where it's like personal, it's fans.
Everyone take, yeah.
Also, a lot of people took note to this part where the interviewer was asking Metro Boomin about Drake and 21 Savage, Her Loss, being the most streamed rap album of all time. If y'all don't know that, that's what they saying. I haven't checked that stat, but let's see what Metro had to say about that.
Yeah,
Shout out Meezy working hard. Yeah, 21 Savage is a good dude.
For sure.
Out there working, man, doing his damn thing, man. And I just seen he had like some of the best collabs of the most streamed like collab albums.
Oh yeah,
or collab singles.
Yeah.
Your name's on there too.
Yeah.
Nigga, stop acting.
Nah. It's so crazy. Me and him were on the phone the other day, and he mentioned that. He's like, man, you see that list of the collab albums that we were?
Yeah.
He was like, man, I was on there four times. You was on there like 4 times.
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah. Then I think it's like you two. Drake was on there, obviously, and then it was. But as far as collabs, it was like, yeah, y'all them, boy.
Yeah, that's the blessing.
All right, man. I'm gonna tell y'all the first thing I love about Metro's comments was when he said, I just talked to 21 the other day. Like, I'm so happy to hear that the Atlanta dudes are not letting the Drake versus Kendrick beef get in between what they got going on. Because we all know Atlanta is known for staying together, sticking together through thick and thin, growing together, making music, working together. And I'm glad to hear that nobody who's on Drake's side is now beefing with people who are considered to be on Kendrick's side. You know what I mean? So I'm glad to hear that first and foremost. Now, also, I want to get into this conversation about the people who probably wasn't taking the beef that serious. I think it's just so easy to assume everybody was, so in their feelings. They were so upset. They were so mad. Even when I kind of look back at the beef, I say to myself, I don't think Rick Ross was taking it that seriously. I honestly think in the beginning, Drake and Kendrick wasn't taking it so seriously until it seemed like Drake kind of amped it up and started, almost daring Kendrick to come back. And then that's when everything was just all on the table. But I think when Like That came out, I think it was still kind of easy vibes. And I still tell y'all to this day, Drake didn't have to respond to Like That. By the way, Like That is still my favorite song that came out throughout the whole beef. Maybe y'all don't consider Like That as one of the songs throughout the beef. But I think overall, I think about that beat and that instrumental from Like That all the damn time. I think about that beat all the time. And of course, that's Mr. Metro Boomin himself. And that's why I said Metro, he is consistently making good music all the time. I look at some of these producers nowadays like they're artists. I look at Khaled like an artist. When you start putting out albums and they're consistently good, and I think at this point, I really feel like Metro's body of work when it comes to putting out albums is better than DJ Khaled for me at this point. I'm not saying Khaled don't have some good albums, but I feel like when the Khaled album come out, I only pay attention to the Big Sean verse and the Drake verse. I'm just being honest with y'all. The Rick Ross verse too, whatever Rick Ross is on, but it's like two artists I like to hear on a DJ Khaled album, and it's Big Sean, Drake, and Rick Ross. Okay, but yeah, man. When we go back to the conversation of taking it seriously, I mean, we should understand Metro Boomin put out the BBL Drizzy beat. I mean, like, yeah, at the time we was like, oh my God, he dissing Drake. But at the same time, bro, he put out a BBL Drizzy beat. And I know it was a whole scandal about, you know, whether or not Metro got that beat from somebody else, but we mostly gave Metro the credit. But to me, that was still trolling. That's joking around. To me, that says I'm not taking it that seriously. And it goes to when Metro just said, hey, it's like WWE for me. And what do we know about WWE? WWE is fake. It's fake beefs. Behind the scenes, they laughing and talking. They setting up all the theatrics. I'm not saying the Drake and Kendrick beef was like that. I'm just saying everybody who was involved, the 20v1, I can't sit here and tell y'all in 2025 that everybody who was going against Drake was like seriously upset with him. Was it some people who probably felt a certain type of way? Sure. But do I feel like everybody in the 20v1 was like, yo, when I see Drake, it's up? No, I don't think it was that serious. But I think at that time, you know, Drake, I don't know if he was hyping himself up for the music, but he was, to me, it was almost like his fans was painting it like that. We was all amping up everything. I can't even just blame it on Drake. We was all amping up everything. And it just felt like, yo, it's 20 other artists, 20-some other artists, and they just got poles and sticks and firearms, and they surrounding Drake, and they not gonna let Drake go home tonight. like, oh, that sound kind of crazy.
Hey, no Diddy, man, no Diddy.
But that's how it felt. Like everything was so serious, everything was so amped. I feel like now in 2025, it's like, bro, we was wilding out. We was all wilding out. Like we just gotta admit it. That's why I think this conversation is so funny, bro. Like we was wilding out. I specifically remember that Drake song when he was talking about the Pharrell jury. I was wilding out. I don't even think I got that video on the channel no more. I was wilding out. I think I said something crazy about A$AP Rocky. I had to calm down. I said, you know what? I was wilding out. But I think everybody was. I think in some ways, both Kendrick and Drake look back and they probably feel like at certain moments they crossed the line. I'm not gonna put it on one side, but for Kendrick, he don't have to dive too deep into that feeling because I won. Hey, I did what I had to do to win. That's how it is. It's a lot of people who went to war and they won the war and they won the battles. After the victory, they feel bad. But it's like it is what it is. We had to win. And I think that's where Kendrick probably is at with it. So y'all tell me what y'all think about this. Once again, hope y'all had a good Thanksgiving. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.